I will be explaining the code line by line. For import java.io, this line import the necessary classes for input, output, info operation. Abstract class loan. This line declares an abstract class named loan. Protected double amount. This line declares a protected instance variable named amount of type double. For protected static final double, interest underscore rate sama dengan 0.1. This line declares a protected static final variable named interest rate of type double with a value of 0.1. It represents the fixed interest rate of 10%. For public loan double amount, this line declares a public constructor for the loan class that takes the double parameter name amount. For this dot amount sama equal amount, this line assign the value of the amount parameter to the amount instant variable. For public abstract double calculate interest, this line declares an abstract method named calculate interest that return a double dot subclass of loan must provide an implementation for this method. And for public double calculate total amount, this line declares a public method named calculate total amount that returns a double. For return amount plus calculate interest, this line calculates and return the total amount by adding the value of the amount sentence instance variable to the result of the calculate interest method. For class personal loan extend loan, this line declares a class name personal loan that extend the loan class. Public personal loan double amount, this line declares a public constructor for the personal loan class that takes a double parameter name amount. For super amount, this line calls the constructor of the superclass loan and passes the amount parameter. For public double calculate interest, this line provides an implementation for the abstract method calculate interest in the personal loan class. Next is return amount interest underscore rate. Return amount star interest underscore rate. This line calculate and returns the interest amount by multiplying the amount instance variable with the interest rate interest underscore rate constants. For interface menu option, this line declares an interface name menu option. After that is void execute throws IOE exception. This line declares a method named execute that does not return a value and can throw an IOE exception. Classes implementing this interface must provide an implementation for this method. For class menu, this line declares a class named menu. Private menu option. This line declares a private instant variable named option of type menu option array. Public menu option. This line declares a public. This line declares a public constructor for the menu class that takes a menu option array parameter name option. This the option is equal option. This line assigns the value of the option parameter to the option instant variable.
Okay, next, the display method is a member function of the menu class. It is responsible for displaying the menu option to the user in a specific format. Here is a breakdown of what this method does. Firstly, it starts by printing a title line, Maybank personal loan system. Second, it's user for loop to iterate over the option array. The loop variable I is initialized to 0 and the loop continues as long as I is less than the length of the option array. Inside the loop, it prints each menu option in the format index option. The index is calculated as I plus 1 to make it 1 base instead of 0 base. The option is obtained by calling the toString method on the option I object. For after printing all the menu option, it adds one more line to display the 0 exit option, indicating that the user can enter 0 to exit the program. Finally, it prompts the user to enter their choice by printing enter your choice. Java public in anti-get user choice. The get user choice method is another member function of the menu class. It is responsible for reading the user choice from the standard input and returning it is an integer. Here's an explanation of its functionality. Firstly, it's declare buffer reader, object names reader to read input from the starter input stream system in. Second, it reads a line of input from the user using reader read line, which returns the input as a string. The obtained input string is then parsed to an integer using integer parser int. This assumes that the user has entered a valid integer. If the input is not valid integer, a number from inception will be thrown. For the resulting integer representing the user choice is returned by the method.
Assalamualaikum, my name is MUHAMAD Arief Hakimie bin Muhammad Rafi, Nometric 13DDT21F1097. Class calculate loan option implement menu option. This line declare a class named calculate loan option that implement the menu option interface. It means that the class must provide an implementation for the execute method defined in the interface. Next, buffer reader, new buffer reader, new input string reader system.in. This line create a buffer reader object named reader to read input from the user. Next, system.out.print enter the loan amount. This line prompts the user to enter the loan amount. Next, double amount, double dot pass double, read line. This line read the loan amount entered by the user and convert it from a string to a double value using double dot pass double. Next, loan, new personal loan, parenthesis amount. This line create a personal loan object with the loan amount provided by the user. Then double interest, loan.calculate interest. This line call the calculate interest method of the loan object to calculate the interest of the loan for the loan. Next, double total amount, loan.calculate total amount. This line call the calculate total amount method of the loan object to calculate the total amount of the loan, including the interest. Next, system.out.print line loan amount plus amount. This line print the loan amount entered by user. Next, system.out.print line interest rate plus loan.interest rate multiply 100. This line print the interest rate, which is with value of 10% stored in the interest rate constant in the loan class. Next, system.out.print line interest plus interest. This line print the calculated interest for the loan. Next, system.out.print line total amount plus total amount. This line prints the total amount of the loan including the interest. Next, Next line, cache IO exception E. This block cache any IO exception that may occur when reading the user input. Next, system.out.println line, an error occur while reading user input. This line is executed if an IO exception occur and it display an error message to the user.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, the code define a Java class name Maybank loan with a main method. This class serves as the entry point for the program. Second, inside the main method, an array option of type menu option is created in the case it contains only one element, which is an instance of the calculate loan option class. This suggests that the program supports a single menu option for calculating loans. The calculate loan option class is assumed to be defined as well in this code. Next, number 3, a menu object. Menu is instantiated using the option array. The menu class is expected to provide functionality for displaying the menu and handling user input. Next, number 4, the code enters a try block indicating the start of exception handling. Number 5, inside the try block, variable choice is declared, which will hold the user's menu choice. Its initial value is not provided at this point. Number 6, the code enters the while loop, which ensures that the menu is displayed at least once and allows the user to make multiple choice until they decide to exit by choosing 0. Number 7, within the loop, the display method of the menu object is called. The method is expected to display the available menu option to the users. Number 8, the get user choice method is then called on the menu object to retrieve the user input. The value entered by the user is assigned to the choice variable. Next, number 9, if the user's choice is greater than 0 and less than or equal to the length of the option array, it means the user has selected a valid option. In this case, the execute method of the selected menu option, in this case the calculate loan option, is called the perform the corresponding action. Additionally, a new line is printed to separate the output. Next, number 10, if the user's choice is not 0 and is not within the valid range of options, an error message is displayed indicating that the choice is invalid. The loop continues, allowing the user to make another selection. Next, number 11, the do while loop continues until the user enters 0 to exit. When choice becomes 0, the loop terminates and program executes.
Next, when you run the code, this is the output that will show up. Then you need to choose to click 1 or 0. If you click 1, the loan will be processed, and if you click 0, the loan will be cancelled. After that, you need to put the loan amount that you want to apply, and then the system will calculate the total amount with interest.